This is a look at one of the minor orders of the Adepta Sororitas, the Order of the Silver Gauntlet. So their logo is a silver gauntlet with a rose symbol near the bottom, showing that much like other sister orders, they like roses, they are beautiful, but they have thorns. And it links into the whole thing of the Plantagenets and the Yorkists in the War of the Roses, but we're all on the same side now, so we have the Bloody Rose and we have the Sacred Rose, one using the Red Rose of Lancaster, one using the White Rose of York, but it's just cool roses. They are one of the smaller orders, so they need to be sensible with their numbers. They can't just throw wave after wave of sisters against the enemy and hope for victory. That would lead to the end of the order. Initially, they send in scouts to do covert operations and intelligence gathering in the field, with the purpose of identifying heretics, finding areas of dissent, and pick out locations suitable to house a new Scholia Progenium. So they are there at the start of an Imperial invasion of, say, a Tau-held world, and they stay right until the end when the rest of the Imperial battle group has moved on. This leads to a lot of reliance on their own sisters, and not on other Imperial forces. And since they are gathering their own intelligence, they are able to act independently in the service of the Ecclesiarchy, which may not necessarily have the same goal as the other Imperial forces. And they engage the enemy by using orbital insertion, teleport technology on beacons set up by infiltrating sisters, or by rapid insertion landing craft, perhaps even Dominica Pattern Drop Pods. Yes, this is the Drop Pod order. They use drop pod attacks during the day in rural areas, which is less noticeable than having a streak of light going across the night sky. That is assuming that the planet they're on has a day-night cycle, but they can also do drop pod assaults against enemy fortifications. So if you're familiar with the older Planetstrike missions, those kind of missions. That's what they specialize in. If they're not doing a strike straight down on top of an enemy base, then they use infiltration tactics before they make coordinated meetups and then attacking the enemy. Now you may have thought you knew all of the Adepta Sororitas orders, this one may be new to you. But some people are just super lore nerds. So now is the time to put in the comments if you have already heard of them, or if you don't like typing comments, then please put no. The order uses white armor, with naturally a silver gauntlet, as these are the Order of the Silver Gauntlet, and their robes are a deep red colour, which contrasts nicely against the white. Whereas the Sacred Rose, they are white armor with usually black tabards. And the Order of the Silver Gauntlet acts very much like the Sacred Rose when they get to battle, as you can tell by the very similar colour scheme, and also that rose symbol on their order logo. So now is time for the curtain to drop. Not that this was actually an Order of the Sacred Rose video again, I did that in the previous lore video, but that this is not a canon order. My source for the Order of the Silver Gauntlet is that I made it the hell up. This is my order. An understrength, constantly crusading order that infiltrates a planet, overthrows heretical leaders, and builds schools to re-educate the populace. I have absolutely no idea where this symbol came from. It was just saved to my computer from like 10 years ago. I didn't make it. Creepy. Perhaps I was chosen. So why did I spend the last few minutes talking about a non-canon order? Do I want people to paint their sisters like mine? Well, you can, but my point is even less nuanced than that. You can make up your own order. Just as you can make up your own hive fleet by picking a monster from Greek or Nordic mythology and then painting some models however you want. You can make up your own Space Marine chapter. This guy is a Space Marine of the Wreathed Skulls chapter, seconded to the Death Watch. Their background? I don't know, but they sure do love Wreathed Skulls as a symbol. You can make up your own sub-faction, and that is absolutely valid. In 9th edition, there were rules to say, okay, yeah, you make up your own thing, you pick your own special rules that you want your order to follow, or you can just say, this is my own unique order, but they're so similar to one of the major orders, they just use their rules. 10th edition, it doesn't matter which detachment you use for your army. All of the different detachments, either in indexes or in codexes, can be used by any of the orders. Now, these sisters don't have their codex yet, but we're going to get more detachments in that. But if you are an Ultramarines army, you don't just have to use the Gladius Task Force, and any Space Marine chapter can use the Gladius Task Force detachment. White Scars don't have to use the Stormlance detachment, and Space Wolves are having quite a lot of success in using the White Scar detachment, and that is totally fine. When you're making up your own order, they could use any of the detachments as their main style, or vary it depending on what the tactical situation required. So now I want you to tell me the name of your order or regiment or Space Marine chapter or owned craft world in the comments and something unique about them. Or what you thought was really cool about one of the canonical major or minor sister orders, just to give me more ideas of where I could go with Adepta Sororitas lore videos. Lore is entirely what you make of it. And when Games Workshop is giving such minor amounts of lore for some chapters and sister orders, making your own can be a lot more fun, especially if you're brand new to the army. Here's some tips to avoid some basic mistakes that all of the Adepta Sororitas players seem to make when they start out, and I hope to see your unique order on the battlefield. My darlings and viewers, have a great day of 40k.